All right, good evening, guys. Whoever is there, I just decided to come back today. I had the stuff to do, and I have stuff that I would like to talk first about. Um, I just got some old files, and um, it's kind of, as I said, on one thing it's good, the other part is kind of scary. In 1968, I was traveling with my mother on a transport with a lot of people from university and nuclear centers, was where my mother worked and knew them, and she knew them, and we got into a car crash. In the driver was drunk, and he crushed the truck that were people were in, and killing, like, out of 15 people, killing half of them. And me and my mother survived, and kind of a thanks God, to say, well, there is a reason, it looks like, for it. I hope it's interesting. But my point is, there is a lot of stuff that it's really to be questioned yet, from the past and nuclear past between. Hello, sir. How are you today? How are you today? I see you coming back. Great. So, as I said, I will just to say explain several things. I talked yesterday about Gamov, who was part of a Manhattan Project, and the horrible part is that coincidentally, this Gamov guy, who was part of Manhattan Project and created together with Oppenheimer, they were creating nuclear bomb, actually died the same day in Boulder, Colorado, the same day where the crash occurred in Ukraine. And me and my mother were in the same transport that crashed, and we almost died. Actually, I still have a mark on my body from the crash. And I said it was 1968 August. My point is really simple. There is so many stuff to be answered about nuclear proliferation of, uh, you know, I don't know what it is, but it's the mind is the right up on the past, correct. But my point is, I know, sir, that you read a lot of stuff. So find Gamov, Gamov. He's not just a part of Manhattan Project, but he's one of the fathers of DNA research in the world. Okay, he's a former Soviet and Russian scientist that lived in Boulder, Colorado for a very long time, and his son is genius as well. He had this. If you watch James Bond movies, there is not. I think it's Sean Connery. Yeah, it was Sean Connery, and the movie that there was like a small mini gas gas container that is used to breathe underwater. This is his son's invention. So my point is very simple. There's something too many coincidences when we're talking about nuclear research during the Cold War, and there's not just my father or other scientists that died that knew something, okay, and they had their patents stolen, but it's continuing to going on. This is what happened with my mother. That's why I cannot rest until I find out what's happened with my mother, because I know something was done. That's why I was poisoned 2.5 years ago, which actually partially saved me, because the I'm kind of showing stuff, and let's see what's going to happen. But my point is, the Cold War and nuclear proliferation, it's not over yet. There is something that is going on, and now with the possible war with Russia, or war in Ukraine, where I'm from, and there are people here as well that try to destroy you. This is what gang stalking is used for. All right, sure, great. You're talking about Rocky Flats, which is New Mexico? No, the white sands nuclear testing field. This is what you're talking about, right? near Denver. It's Rocky to Denver. I don't know that, but Denver is very interesting. The Denver, especially Boulder, they had, but it was Cold War a long time ago. And I don't know what's there. But as I said, I assume there is some kind of a testing fields. I'm sure there's all over. But my point is that the it was like 1968, and first time Boulder came up on the same day when we crashed with my mother. It was just a few years back. Actually, I wanted to go to talk to his son. Maybe he knew something, but I was planning. After my mother was dying, I was planning simply to drive from here through Denver on the way back. I've been to Denver driving here in Atlanta. I wanted to just simply go. He has a ranch there. He had his son at the ranch. But in 2021, his son died as well. So there's nothing I can kind of find out the information. Even I'm so sorry that it's kind of one of the stuff. It's closing. It's kind of closing the information of the old generations of people like my mother that worked in as scientists, the same age that she is. They start leaving this world already. They're simply dying. All right, let's see. Yes, Santa wipes I do. I don't know. I'm not gonna. I have to kind of form a little bit, even though I will wait maybe a couple of months more. Thank you, sir. My mother died as that she died 2 years, almost 2 years ago. But I'm still dealing with her death, not psychologically, but bureaucratically. So, uh, you see, what I would tell about CIA, FBI, NSA, um, they kind of took lots of shit from everybody else. But there is a point. I am disappointed in this government organizations only last few years, because I do not see the damn that they're doing. You see what's happening with the people called invasion. There's a lot of people that go through the border. Ronald Reagan would never allow this thing when I arrived. And you see, it's not exactly bad thing for people who want to be kicked out. I'm talking about people who are here. There are people who are here that are going to be bothered, because sometimes if somebody hears you're talking with accent, and somebody momentarily will approach you from ICE, former INS, now it's ICE, and start asking you questions. I was a witness on the news that there was people were traveling with Winnebago from a fishing trip, and they got stopped, and they will not let go for 5 hours until they show the proof of citizenship, which is total bullshit. They have to, they have to. It's no way it would have been done during, especially Cold War years. The Cold War was very easy. If you're here in the United States and you choose to live in the United States, you're good. Thank you, sir. Freedom reign. And the rest, nobody gives a shit. Simply because now, I don't understand these people. I don't understand ICE. I don't know what they want with other people. I mean, somebody talks to you almost with no accent, or a little bit accent that I do. I mean, it means, who am I then? How come I know English really well? You know, how come children are next to you talk only English, and they want to prove of citizenship or stuff like this? This is horrible. But anyway, the yeah, I have it. I have several, and I have another shirt. If you see, like in stripes. Actually, I had three of them. Now only one left. Some of the I had questions about clothing. Why you wear all the time same shirt? Well, I wear all three of them before. Now, two of them are gone because they kind of I use them for uh, for kind of a clean up stuff and even the floor and stuff, because they're old, and one was left, and so I use the other one very often. And I have, you see, when I got divorced, my wife sent me only a few clothing here in Atlanta, and she asked me to get rid of stuff. I said, well, whatever you do, but and I had to kind of reload some of my wardrobe here, but I don't want to spend a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money. So I pretty much wear shirts and t-shirts, and I still have a lot of t-shirts in the storage area. Let's see if I'll find them. Anyway, let's see. So not the Scorpions, the Deep Purple. They are ripped off, by the way. I need to kind of sort them. So why did they get shit and consequences for how she? Uh, yeah, I don't know why the standard deteriorated. You see, there's one thing that people don't like much. When we're talking about winning the Cold War, it's not very simple process. Yes, United States did win the Cold War, but they kind of boom and start relaxing. Yeah, we won. We controlled everything, but it's not the way. This is what happens. That it's not just Soviet Union. Actually, Soviet Union is no longer a big one because it doesn't exist. You know, there's only Russia now. Ukraine is deteriorating, and China, India. You know, today the head of CIA is going to be Patel. He's from his Indian origin. What it means is the focus of intelligence and the future wars are to Asia. You know, if you just take like the 3 billion people live like in the Asia area. My point is very simple. And it looks like some of the federal agencies were not ready. They kind of were resting on their own laurels and they started deteriorating. This is what the problem is. And this is the way I see it. Maybe I'm correct. But when I start talking about earlier, people try to shut me up. I work for a company. I'm not gonna like companies called JCPenney, and I was account analyst for them for almost 15 years, and they try kind of to bully me. But my point is, if somebody asks me something about politics, and I will tell this is what's going on, they say bullshit. There is nobody better than us. Yeah, sure, maybe with the army, but you know, I mean, how call it? I almost said spецслужбы. It's in Russian. It's uh, special forces or security forces. They always have to be on their toes, and this is what looks like happened. That over the years, they kind of have gotten lazy or stuff like this. Is what that's why deterioration of national security sometimes can go. And will it be later? I have no idea. As I said, I'm quite old already, 62, even though I'm planning to leave until I'm 100. But from this moment on, I'm trying to live for my own pleasure in a way, because, as I said, I developed, after poisoning, I developed specific medical condition that I cannot walk a lot. I have to, I walk, still actually rather walk this way. I exercise. But my point is that um, you see, I have to kind of slow down if they let me. And this is one of the reasons I had a conflict here at work, that some of the people that I work with decided to don't do shit at work. And I ended up, I have to be finishing their work for them instead of me making some, stuff. And this is one of the reasons besides the racial, I call it reverse discrimination. People, I'm the only white was there, and they just simply had really quiet but very ugly situations that I had. And um, this is just one of the examples. Let's go back to politics. This is what it is. This is consequence for their deterioration. Companies like that, they decided to just simply to lay back, but you see, they still have so much money. I mean, if you take CIA, it's $20 billion budget, right? If you have national security, it's $8 billion budget. And if you take Russia or you take like other Eastern European countries, they don't have research facilities like that. They have think tanks and so on and so on. But for instance, foreign ministry is the equivalent of national security agency. Foreign ministries in Eastern Europe and in former Eastern Bloc countries in general, they are the ones who coordinate the internal and foreign intelligence. So it's like it's equivalent versus foreign agency or a diplomatic corps. This is what it is pretty much. You have coordination of foreign intelligence and internal intelligence that go through those type of institutions, and in the end, they are coordinate and do things. And here in the States, they spend so much money, then yet they start deteriorating. You see what I mean? And if I say so, when I was working for some, they got offended, and I say I don't want to point your shit stuff like this. I'm just stating the fact. But they think if somebody try to tell stuff that it's criticism, and you better shut the hell up and get out of the country if I'm a citizen. That's what it is. Anyway, let's see guys later. Big City Night is my favorite. Yeah, actually one of the best. But I will tell you one thing that I walked out in one of the concerts of Scorpions because before there were Deep Purple and Dio. I kind of got tired, but I loved the other two so much I just decided not to go to Scorpions. But anyway, hey, hope you well and everything is going. Yes, thank you, sir. A bottle for your brain. Yes, I have inflammation, as I said, and because of worry of my job that I lost, and I am kind of now have to do stuff. I have like a month to deal with the stuff, and I will see what's gonna happen. And I hope by then the situation with my other things that I can either leave without do stuff. And when I go to Salt Lake City, I'm just simply semi-retired. I'm still gonna work, but less hours, because if you're getting Social Security, you have you don't 1550. It's $1,550. If you start making more per month, you start to pay $2 for every dollar earned more. But I would rather pay this way instead of having no money. So I'm still gonna get some money to work. De facto, if everything is fine, I will just. This is what it is. By new law, you have to have about $40,000 a year. With Social Security, doesn't have to be. Well, actually, what I had for dinner, I had fried potato with mushrooms. Yeah, half vegetarian but with butter. Yes, it is. One bedroom condo. I would show you, but it's too shitty. It's unbelievably. As I said, what I do, I'm cleaning everywhere, and not just that. My mother had this horrible, how you call it, horrible habit to put stuff inside like pockets, right? And I'm not showing. There's not a lot of stuff. There are actually few, but it's just time's sakes, I call it. Stuff that I don't want to get thrown away. And for instance, I was cleaning the other day. And boom, and I find stuff like this, right, in her pocket. But it's not something that's expensive. But yet, I remember this thing that she was wearing. So I'm just kind of, I'm not going to throw it away. So if I give old clothing to, to like in Utah, there's it's called DI Industries. There is here equivalent like this, but before I check everything, I cannot throw it away or give it away because, as I said, she had this habit to hide things. Yeah, sentimental value. I was hoping, when my son gets married, we're simply gonna give him all this thing that he can give to his for future wife or something. You know what I mean? Just kind of a family thing. So that's what it is. It's almost 20 minutes, guys. By the way, I wanted to tell you about yesterday's taping. It took exactly 12 hours. I had yesterday 18 minutes or 40 minutes, sorry, and it took 12 hours. I started about 9 yesterday, and when I finished and started loading it, it came back normally as loaded next day, I mean today at 10 o'clock in the morning. It means it took 12 hours to transfer from waiting on YouTube to YouTube. Okay. I don't watch movies anymore. I'll be really honest with you. There is so much garbage out there, and you know, there is a lot of stuff that it's uh, really, really. I was kind of even wondering how normal people can understand this and take it as a movie. There's movies supposed to have and give you something like knowledge or good feelings or correct choices in life, and now you have, you know, what the hell? I see somebody just. I didn't see the name, but somebody just a couple of minutes ago uh, subscribed. Thank you. There's a lot of favorite movies. When I was young, one of the reasons I loved the United States were cowboy movies. There's tons of them, and as I said, I have as a child, I always wanted to buy stuff and have belly buckles, stuff like this. And this is when you see this. It's my. Uh, this is my. I already showed it once. This is my bolo tie. I love my bolo tie, and I have belly buckle, but I just don't want to go. It's hanging there. But my point is really simple. Uh, Cowboy Indians movies, and I never like gangster movies. I don't know why. Yeah, this is. I even don't know if it's real. Uh, you know, if it's real stone. It was just on sale one day. It was like 20 something years ago, and I have it since. I didn't wear it for a while because when my mother was sick and I was either going to work with the war uniform or I stayed at home. But it's you know um, it's a good thing. It's some stuff is pleasant. One small thing that brings memories. You just simply touch this thing and you start remembering. Where did you buy it? Who did you buy it with? And what did you say? And so on and so on. You see what I mean? So that's why some things are good. Sometimes they're really cheap, actually, but just they kind of there's attachment of memory to it. Okay, and that's what it is. And so, guys, I will be closing in 2 minutes. Why? As I said, because yesterday it took to load 12 hours. You see, I have a about 3 months old Apple computer, which is a MacBook, but this one is my phone. I have a problem when I start doing live. I have a camera, but it doesn't want to get attached and activated when I try to do live from YouTube or Facebook. And that's why I use this phone. But if I use my computer, I can talk as much as I can. And because the older computer, I will maybe try it tomorrow again. By the way, maybe I'll be here tomorrow at the same time, about 8 o'clock. But it's not going to be video. Is not going to be so big quality because it's going to be from old Hewlett Packard. But yet it's still going to be video. But the beautiful part, even of Hewlett Packard, when you go through and do live from YouTube through a computer, not through the phone, I have momentarily download. I can simply press uh, publish, and this is it. It's right there. But when I start to use my iPhone, and my iPhone has better quality of pictures, uh, yet it takes forever. All right, sure. Thank you, Barry, and you have a good evening. And as I said, it's less than a minute left. And as I said, if I am here, um, try to check about 8 o'clock prime time. You know what I mean? All right, sir. It's Tushar Kumar. Thank you, sir. You have a good evening, and I am out for today. And as I said, I hope we are safe. I hope there is no war. I hope there is no civil war. You see, don't forget that Trump, even though people don't like him, a lot of people don't, it's still the only one person who can save you in a way from breaking up of a country. So you don't have to like him, but you have to understand. This is the way I say it to myself, that there should be no breaking up of the United States in any way, because I don't have anywhere to go, and a lot of people don't. It's their country. We don't want to end up homeless and hungry. Anyway, you have a good evening.